Hey, welcome back to another RSG Lunch Stream. I'm Ranger J 1999. Welcome to the show. What is the lunch stream? Well, that's where we bring you quality entertainment, if you want to consider that, for the next hour. Give you something to listen to as you get through your doldrums of your daily work and talk about Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. We'll do some roster reviews. We'll get some questions in. We'll just have a good time, basically, overall. If you do have questions, then, of course, get those in. And we have the Soulless One Stanley right here to scoop them up. We've got a lot of people joining us today. We've got Dr. Finn Medicine Woman. I guess Dr. Finn Medicine...
Threshers are eating my face. So.
What?
I'm playing Borderlands.
He's playing Borderlands.
Oh, for God's sakes. We have Grim the Mechanic.
How's it going?
We have Across the Pond Mike.
Hello.
The previously mentioned Soulless One Sanely.
Hello there.
We have the lovely Dana Descent with us today.
Hello, lovelies.
Hey.
That's my new thing. That's what I'm calling it from now on. I made it for the party.
Oh.
You all are lovelies.
Oh. And who else? We got Grande here. Is he still on the call, or he's been very quiet? I don't know if he's still there.
Oh.
The big deal, I guess, had a big deal to go take care.
Does that make him a lovely big deal?
I don't know.
Yes. He's a lovely big deal.
Oh, God.
The French tickling lovely big deal.
Oh, my God.
What?
Well, he did post a shirtless pic of himself in the Angels.
That's horrifying.
That wasn't that bad. I wasn't scarred or anything.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Saying I'm louder than everybody else. Let's see if I can fix that. Okay. So I'll adjust the volume a little bit, see if that helps. Let me check.
Did we introduce Xylo?
I haven't had a chance because I just got told that Xylo the Thunder Jedi is here.
Maybe he's not either.
Okay, I guess he's a little busy. I can only introduce them if they're here, Dana.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, well. So, we begin another week of Star Wars Galaxy Heroes and other things. We had our D&D campaign yesterday. So if you haven't listened, you can go and check it out. It was fun, and we learned that Vince Sill and Grimm are Leroy Jenkins and just want to go in and kill everything without their party. So that was interesting to learn.
Didn't quite turn out the way that I was thinking it would. I kind of had some strategery there, but
no, there was no strategery.
Yeah,
there was 7 of us, and you 2 decided to go into a goblin lair and attack them. That there's no strategery there.
Well, the idea was to bottleneck them and pick them off instead of going into the room, which people are standing at the entrance so they can get swarmed.
You ran away.
I followed the plan.
I mean,
you do know what a bottleneck is, right?
Yes, but
you didn't tell them.
Had no idea.
They had no idea you were doing that.
Yeah.
We had no idea what the hell you were doing. Only thing we saw is you running out and like hiding because you were getting attacked and on the verge of dying.
Anyways,
Oh my God.
Hell of a bottleneck you have there, sir.
God. Oh, Jesus. Alright, we will do some roster reviews today. If you have questions, go and get them in. Sanely will scoop them in. Make sure if you haven't subscribed already, guys, go ahead. Support the channel. Give us a thumbs up. That really helps with all the stats that we need for YouTube to keep putting out this quality entertainment that you guys love so much. Anything happening in the game? Not really. I've got Trade 11 Gear 11. I'm using her in my arena team now, and I must say that she is quite as disgusting as advertised. Oh my God, is she nasty? All right. So, anything else game wise anybody wants to mention?
Now I'm getting attacked by Barkits.
Oh, nobody. Christ. All right, we're moving on to our roster review. Finn, who do we got today?
Alright, so the first one we have is Tallgeese. and I think it's Tallgeese 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He's a Dark Star Mercs.
Yep. So shout out to Dark Star Mercs. And he is a newer player, 923,000 GP. And he's just looking for a general idea of what he should do. So he's been farming different things in the game. Currently, he's working on Sabine, Millennium Falcon, Scion and Nihilus, Shore and Death Trooper. He also the guy in first place. So he's trying to be competitive in arena, and like he's noticed that the guy in first place, and he had a question for you, Ranger. Decided to put a Zeta on his Nihilus instead of his Scion. So he's just wondering, because we've mentioned before that Scion is a better Zeta over Nihilus, what we thought about him doing that. And so he just wants us to look over his roster, figure out what to farm, including the next legendary also that he should go after with his roster. So that's what we're looking at.
Okay,
hey,
so
Ranger, your mic is clipping.
What does that mean?
It's like choppy.
Again?
Hmm.
I thought we got rid of the
I thought it was too loud.
It was too loud, but I guess the noise gate isn't on, right?
Yeah, I didn't put the noise gate on.
Is it still there maybe when you duplicated it? Because I think you can mess around with the volumes in each of your different scenes separate.
Well, I mean, I turned the mic down a little bit.
Well, check your mic to make sure there's no noise gate filter on either.
Aw. Biffy wants to know, why is Finity playing Borderlands without me? Is he mad at me?
No, I'm not mad. You can join me. I am never opposed to anyone joining while I play.
Yeah, she's crying. You got a little sad face.
She knows better than to cry.
Yeah, it put a gain on again. I don't know why.
The gain is fine as long as there's no gate.
Yeah, this should fix it. All right, so it should be better now, guys. I hope.
Biff, go ahead and come log on, then you can join me. I'm trying to do all the quests that give Iridium. So.
Let me know if that makes it better, guys, in chat. Someone can listen to it and let me know. So, Christ in heaven. Let's see. Now I've disappeared.
No, you're fine. I can hear you.
You can hear me?
I just checked it. Yep, I'm listening to the stream. You're there.
And the volume's fine.
Yep.
Alright. Alright, so we got that squared away. Good lord. Too far now, Ranger? I don't know.
You're fine. We'll keep up.
Okay. Let's start again because I got distracted. So what's the first thing we're looking at for Tallgeese?
Okay, so let's start off with the question that he had for you, and then we'll look at his roster a little more. Yeah. So his question for you, and it's because we said this before on the stream. So he noticed that the guy in first place on his arena shard decided to put a Zeta on Nihilus before he put a Zeta on his Scion. And we recommended doing Scion first.
Right.
So he was wondering what your thoughts were on him doing it. Is it a good thing, a bad thing? Is it something maybe that's changing? So he's trying to figure out also where he should put his Zeta. So he was wondering about the Nihilus versus Scion.
Well, I mean, if you look at the Nihilus... Yeah, go ahead, Grim.
Oh, no, sorry. Go ahead.
Wait, were you going to say something?
No, I was clicking on the wrong thing, and I was like, oh, what are you guys talking about? But yeah, sorry. I'm not seeing his Zeta on Nihilus.
Well, I mean, you want to put it on Nihilus.
Sorry.
It just helps the team overall. So let's look at it. All right, if we go to characters, we go to Darth Nihilus, and then we look at his unique Zeta, which I do have Zeta. Lord of Hunger. At the start of his turn, Nihilus inflicts damage over time for 2 turns on a random enemy that doesn't have a debuff. All enemies are deflect, inflict damage over time. At the start of each turn, Nihilus inflicts health down on them for 2 turns. When allied Darth, Scion, or Trey are inflicted with the 8 debuff, Nihilus gains 10% turn meter and 30% max health. That's why you want it, because when they're getting hit, you're getting not only you're getting turn meter, but you're getting health back as well. So that's what makes that one such an awesome one. that's why you want to do Nihilus first and then do Scion, because it just makes your Nihilus speed up, and he's getting those drain forces off like a madman. So that's kind of why you want to do that. Stay the course. Science is important, don't get me wrong, but Nihilus really, you can kind of get away with not having Scions on there as much as if you've got your Nihilus set up for success. That'll really help you out in the long run.
So would you recommend doing Nihilus first, or is this just a reasoning why doing Nihilus first is okay?
It's a debate.
I hope you didn't kill anyone I know.
Some people say Scion because you just can't run them without it. Some say Nihilus because it makes your team easier to do. There's not a right or wrong answer. My personal opinion, you do Nihilus first. That's what I did first. And then I did Scion. But, you know, I'm sure there's people out there that are going to disagree with me that say that Nihilus is the secondary Zeta that you want to do on that team. So, I mean, we could throw it around the horn here and say what people think.
I mean, I guess technically disagree with you. So I did Nihilus first, but that was because Nihilus came out before and I already had a Zeta.
Well, if you had to do it over again, though, based off
I would do Scion first.
Okay.
And primarily that's because of getting his revive ability up as quickly as possible. So you need to get that fear up. And the main thing with Nihilus, right? So the only time I would consider doing Nihilus over Scion is if your farm of Scion is going really slowly, like you're not able to get at least, I would say, one refresh maybe of the Scion node, because he is a hard node only. Now he has a fleet battle, but before it was a hard node only. If your Scion is going to be slow, you're putting a Zeta on a character that isn't 7-star. And Nihilus is kind of the same way, right? But Nihilus you had a little bit of a head start on. So I try to put Zetas on characters that are 7-star because that way you can use them in other parts, right? You can use them in territory battles, and you can make use of the Zeta. You can use them in territory wars, which is the same as Arena, so you don't need 7-star for that. But then you can use them in raids. And so that's why I prefer to do it on 7 stars as much as possible, which would be the only scenario why I would say Nihilus. But if you're focusing on Arena, the fear that you can get from Scion that just spreads around every time they attack him, and you can get taunt on him, that's why I would say Scion first, because he can make that revive ability really, really nasty for anybody that's facing him if you don't know how to attack him. So that's why I would say Scion first. But yeah, it is relatively close. If you have a bunch of people that are using Rex, for example, on your shard, then maybe Nihilus first, because then Nihilus puts a debuff and then it feeds your team turn meter if you're running an Emperor Palpatine lead. So there's a few scenarios why I would say Nihilus, but overall, generally, I would say Scion first.
All right. Anybody else?
No.
Go ahead, Mike.
No, I was just going to agree. I don't think I've got anything to. Yeah, I mean,
well, with me, I went for Scion first, and then I went for Nihilus. And you know, if I had a chance to change it, I wouldn't. Scion's is just—it's so good.
Dana.
Oh no, I mean I had Nihilus first because I've had him for a while. But Scion Zeta is really great. That's a tough one for me. Yeah.
All right. What was next on the list of things you want us to look at, Dr. Finn?
So now he wants us to look overall at his roster and just get a general idea of where he should farm. So right now he's farming.
At Galactic Power 923,000 total, so it's going to be some work in some areas. So
yeah. What is his vote like? What does he want to concentrate on? Is he looking to build up teams for the Sith raid, or is he just looking to, strengthen his Arena team? Or do you know
what he's got to do is
farming?
He's got to get his Arena team to 7 stars and gear 12.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
top mods too. That's before anything else. You've got to do that. So if you're going to run that team, which is the team you can run, and it's fine. Make sure it has the Zetas, make sure it has the stars, and make sure right now your Palpatine and Vader are gear 10. Your Scion's gear 9. You got to get them to at least minimum gear 11 to really... Now, you're probably in a newer shard, which is fine, but all your assets right now need to go into your arena. Your farms on hard nose should be priority for arena. Your gear should be going into arena because that's where you'll make the most bang for your buck.
He's in a similar position as I am with my ult.
Nobody cares about your ult, Mike.
No, I know. But I'm just looking that he's got a 4-star Obi-Wan, and he'll need a 7-star Obi-Wan to unlock CLS.
So that was one of his questions, which is which legendary he should work on, because they both just came, right?
Yeah,
so what should he focus on?
CLS. He doesn't have. I'm not. All right, let's see.
See,
I can tell you right now, I would say CLS, because all of the characters you farm for CLS are useful. Not all of the characters you farm for Jedi Training Ray are useful.
Well, I disagree with
right?
that.
The veterans are, I mean, veterans are a major investment because they are a high node cantina farm,
and he hasn't unlocked either.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got the Emperor team for RTD2 to get RTD2. Let's look at Rebels. If Galaxy Heroes, swgoh.gg will work with me here. Good lord. Every time I hit it the first time, it automatically picks a random character and it goes to it. It's like, I did not click that. Why am I going to Ezra?
He's got a 5-star BB-8.
Yeah, so who he's farming right now, he's farming Sabine, Millennium Falcon, Darth Scion and Nihilus, Shore Trooper and Death Trooper. So that's his current farm.
Why is he farming Sabine?
Yeah, I was just going to ask that.
Yeah.
Ships?
Maybe.
Even then. Alright, so he has RTD2. Okay. So he's RTD2. He's going to need to farm Luke, Princess Leia.
Old Ben.
He's got Stormtrooper Han. Yeah, so those three right there. So you've got 2 of the pieces, but you need to farm Old Ben, Luke, Princess Leia if you're going to get CLS. Now, I'm trying to think of... Princess Leia is Arena. So there's your arena farm. Old Ben is Cantina, I want to say.
Cantina. Yeah, he is. He's got an 8.
Is what?
An 8 thing. Luke's also Cantina, I believe.
So you can farm those. That's not going to mess with any of your hard note farms.
Luke is also guild shipments, so you can.
So you've got a couple places you can farm. So for CLS, focus on them. Now let's look at the other legendary. So if we're looking for like JTR, which you need for BB-8. First, you have to have a first order team, and I can tell you, I bet if I look, that we're close.
Yeah. I mean, I would honestly say you don't.
No, he's pretty close, actually.
He's getting there.
He's got a 7-star Death Panda.
He pretty much just needs... No, he's got the tune, so when BB-8 comes around, he can get him. So, you're good there.
Well, almost. He has to finish off his TIE Pilot. His TIE Pilot's only 6-star.
Well, yeah.
He can get BB-8, but not 7-star.
Yeah, he can do that, no problem.
Yeah, he's almost there. But the rest of his Jedi Training Ray team is no.
Yeah. So
and I would say Jedi Training Ray isn't necessary, so not immediately, anyways.
Let's see.
His main thing is the scoundrels. He has the resistance characters, but he doesn't have the veterans, which I'm actually fine with. You can farm the veterans later. Jedi Training Ray is pretty much just a Sith raid character. And I was looking at his gear.
Territory wars and territory battles. Quit forgetting that crap.
No, but you can put other teams instead of Jedi Training Ray on there. I mean, you can work on other teams.
It's a team that people look at because it's a team.
Yeah, but if you look at his guild ranger, so his guild appears to be a 72 million GP guild with 7 people on GG. So I'm not sure they're worried too much about like Sith raid or anything like that. And then at that level, any team that you can get to gear 11 with mods on it will be enough to hold on defense. Because the roster depth just isn't there. Jedi Training Ray would be nice, but she's easily countered by Night Sisters no matter where you go. So.
Right, but people, we're using them. JTR is strictly offense now, right? And you can use her on offense
at higher levels, not lower.
Well, at higher levels, but if you get a JTR team at lower levels, you kick some ass with that team especially on defense. It's a tough team if people don't have the right pieces for it.
And he doesn't have a Night Sister team.
Yeah. But I think his focus is on getting CLS with his farms.
Yeah.
He's got the First Order team. You know, he needs to focus on Arena. He needs to finish getting what he needs for CLS. I think we all can agree on that. He's already got R2, so he just needs to finish the farm of those other guys. I think that's his priority right now. You know, if you have nothing in Canteen that you're farming, you can start working on the vets because you already have the First Order team to get BB-8. You might as well get JTR. It'll be a valuable piece for you in the long term. And then that way you're farming Arena, you're farming characters for the CLS, and you're farming what you need for JTR when it comes around. Because she's not going to be around for, what, 3 months? So you've got some time if you want to make that decision. I mean, if you're going to get BB-8, you might as well get JTR. But yeah, you definitely need to finish those farms for CLS. And they're not hard farms. You just have to do it. You know, just get your tokens and get them every day.
Yeah,
there's a lot of different ways we can go with this roster, but I think working towards CLS and working toward JTR, you already got the First Order team, and finishing up your Arena team with gear and everything is really what you need to focus on right now. I don't want to recommend any other teams because it's kind of pointless to work on those other teams because he's got to get that stuff squared away first before he does anything else.
Yep.
All right. Anything else on mods or anything that he needs to work on?
We can take a look. I mean,
he can't farm speed mods yet, or he has no speed mods.
Yeah.
Speed with speed. That was something I was looking at with the resistance. Again, though, it comes back to what you were saying, doesn't it? That it's stay on target, get one thing done, then move on to the next, and so on.
Right.
But his resistance is almost there, though. I think he's got a 7-star Finn.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got Scavenger and R2. He'll get R2. BB-8 soon.
Yeah.
And so he needs to get his Poe, and then he should be pretty
Poe
good.
And pilots are free farm as such, isn't it? Pilots
from
in
Galactic War.
Stores.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if he can, I mean, obviously he's focused on who he's collecting in there at the moment.
His Poe's already there, though. His Poe's already 5 stars, so he can already attempt that mission. He needs to invest in him, though. Poe has nothing on him, though.
Well, yeah.
He's level 50, gear 1, so invest in Poe and then go for it. Because your BB-8's 5-star also.
I can see that happening.
Yeah, that would work.
He's modded well with the mods that he has. So obviously he's a newer roster, so he doesn't have a whole depth of mods. But where his mods are, he mods his characters correctly. So it looks good from that. From when you look on his page, it's on Vader, it's on Thrawn, it's on Nihilus, it's on Palpatine. So he's modded correctly for the team that he's running.
Right. All right. Was there anything else we need to look at?
No, for him that was pretty much it. And let us know if you have any questions, Tallgeese.
Yeah, if you do, you know where to find us. Come into our Discord, ask us questions. We will be more than glad to answer them for you. That's what it's there for. Our next roster is July 9, and he's in the Outer Rim Yavin 4. So shout out to them. And what is July 9's looking for there, Dr. Finn?
I don't know if it's July or JLY, but
I'm going to assume that's, well, you could say JLY, but I'm going to say July 9 sounds cooler.
All right. So he is looking for a lot of ship help, actually. So he's feeling behind on ships since they reworked it. So if we can give him advice on ships, as well as mod review and different territory teams that he can make, as well as Treya teams or to counter teams in order to rise, because he's fallen a little bit in Arena with struggles against Treya. So that's what he's looking for.
Russia looks pretty damn solid. A lot of gear 12s I'm seeing in here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And all on good characters.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a few different teams that you could try and run against
you just did a video
team.
about this, Dr. Finn.
Yeah, so if they don't have all Sith, if they have a character that's an off Sith, so that's like a Thrawn, an Enfys Nest, those tend to be the two most common ones that you'll see in that position. If they don't have a Vader or a Sith Assassin, both of them will speed up the Sith team. So it changes a little bit, although the team can still work. It has a little more RNG. But if they don't have that, if they're Treya teams with Thrawn or Enfys Nest, you can use your Han Solo, mod him with a lot of plus offense, not speed. Han, you really want a lot of damage because he gets a lot of armor penetration. So if you mod Han Solo with a lot of plus offense, flat offense, he will do a lot of damage, and you can essentially two-shot a Treya that's less than 7 stars. With a little, if you use like a Rex's special ability first on a Treya, and then you use Han Solo, then you can pretty much take her out with 3 shots for the most part. So the team can be a CLS, a Han Solo, a Nihilus, Thrawn, and Rex. And so those could be the 5 characters you can run against a Treya team. That's a climbing team. If it's a Palpatine lead, then you fracture with Scion first. If it's a Treya lead, then you turn meter swap with Rex and give your team turn meter instead. So that's one team potentially that you can run. And I see that you have you have all of those characters. So you are good with that team. Where is his Wampa?
5-star gear 8.
Gear 8. Okay.
43%.
Yeah, so Wampa is another character you can potentially use to counter that team, and that's just because he does massive amounts of damage. And that ends up being a Rex lead with Mother Talzin, Wampa, Thrawn, and Kenobi. And except for Wampa, you have that entire team. So Wampa may be a character that you want to invest in order to run that as a counter team. So that is another potential option. And where is his Hermit Yoda?
5-star, same as Wampa.
Okay. So Hermit Yoda is another one you can potentially use, but this one is much more mod dependent. So it's the combination of a Grandmaster Yoda and a Hermit Yoda, where Hermit Yoda will go first because his speed is faster, but you need a really, really, really fast Hermit Yoda for this to really work. And essentially you'll do a Master's Training on Grandmaster Yoda. When you put Master's Training, Grandmaster Yoda will attack using his basic, and Grandmaster Yoda's basic gives him turn meter, which means that Grandmaster Yoda is going to go second, and then you can now do his AoE attack, and then follow immediately by putting Tenacity up on everyone, and now you have Tenacity up in order to help resist. But keep in mind, opposing Vaders, if you're facing a Vader team, Vader will gain turn meter for every Rebel and Jedi ally, so you're feeding him more speed. As a result of that, although his base speed is slower, you're giving him extra turn meter, but
I hope you
those are 3 potential teams you can run. One you have ready, 2 of them with the Hermit Yoda and the Wampa. You want to keep working on those characters a little bit. They're really good characters everywhere in the game. So those are potential teams you can run against Treya, as well as your own counter team. So I would suggest actually if you're facing other teams without a Vader, don't use your Vader, because the reason why Vader is kind of falling out of favor in a lot of arenas, and it's not that you won't see him with the Treya team, but he's falling out of favor a little bit because he does his AoE debuffs at the start. And when you do the AoE debuffs at the start, that feeds turn meter to Nihilus based on his unique, because you put debuffs on both Scion and Treya. And so Nihilus is almost guaranteed to go right after Vader does his saber throw. And then, or actually even possibly at the same time. Yeah, it depends on the coin flip, because both of them should be at full turn meter. And so if Nihilus goes, he'll do the Drain Force, and now your entire team is on cooldown. Right? So you don't want to do that. And so that's why Vader has fallen out of favor in a lot of arenas where you're facing just this whole Treya team meta, because you can feed turn meter to Nihilus and kind of screw over your entire rotation. So it depends on how your arena shard is going, but hopefully that helps you with some ideas on counter teams. There's a few of them. It depends situationally on the type of teams, the composition, as well as their mod makeup, if you're trying to run a speed heavy counter versus just a regular counter.
Yep. Yeah, like on my arena team, I hate doing it, but I don't use Vader anymore.
Yeah, Vader's off my team now.
You know, I ditched Vader and put in Nest instead.
Yeah, I ditched Vader as well.
And once I get Traya, you know, it's gonna be bye Thrawn.
Mine's old crusty face Star Traya. All right, so looking at the rest of his roster, First Order is done taken care of. So that's the territory battle team you can use. Night Sisters look really solid. You just got to get your Acolyte up and your Zombie to 7 stars. Let's look at your Imperial Troopers real quick. I mean, your roster looks pretty damn good. Yeah. You need to get Stark to 11, but other than that, you're fine on your Troopers. Yep. I mean, really, I'm not seeing anything that... I mean, you've got a wide range of teams that you can use. And for your GP to have this many done, yeah, you're really, really good. I'm not seeing anything that is like, okay. Wow.
I don't know. There are a couple characters that could use a Gear 12 for their ships, and for territory wars, like, you know, maybe Gear 12 Maul, because it makes his ship so much better. And, you know, Maul also works as a lead for a second Sith team TW.
Work. There you go. Gear wise, you've got the stars, but you don't have the levels like Jyn, Urso, Cassian, Andor. There are pieces in there with bays. You need to finish the farm on bays. It's a very important piece. But you have some really good stuff. I mean, that's some areas that you can work on, finishing up the Night Sisters, get your Rogue One team done with the turret, bays, Jyn, Cassian. You can go Scarif Rebel, or you can go with K2SO. I mean, it's a team that you can use in different areas. But you've got your JTR, you've got your First Order, you've got the Chex Mix, you've got the Night Sisters. That'll help you in territory wars, territory battles, Heroic Sith Raid. I mean, you're pretty solid. Troopers, get that one Storm. I mean, Stark to Gear 11, and then you're good to go on that. I mean, these are just additional things you can add to your roster that'll help expand your roster a little bit more. But in order to answer the PvP question, let's look at ships. And did he say specifically?
Well, I wanted to put one more thing in there. You know, he might want to start working on Vis's Mar too. Possibly. And his Nest.
Yeah.
Definitely need to work on your Nest, man. Nest is, I mean, out of all the new characters, I think she is by far going to possibly, you know, start showing up in most of the metas. Because she is so fast. She has that AoE daze. She can stun. She can ability block. She can expose. And at Gear 12 Plus, she's going to hit like a freight train.
I'm looking at his ship roster. I'm not seeing any glaring weaknesses.
Well, let's suggest a roster for him instead, right? Because he may not. I can see that he doesn't have Chimera.
He needs to do. He needs to finish up.
Well, he doesn't have Chimera offhand.
Well, yeah, but
that's coming up at the end of this month. So let's make sure he has everything for Chimera.
He doesn't have what he needs to run the Geonosians because he doesn't have Spy done. So that's out.
Yeah.
He could run
his Ghost and Phantom are 6-star.
Execution with TIE Advanced and Imperial TIE Fighter with Biggs is still pretty good. You can run that. They get the bonuses because it's Executrix. And then your reinforcements can be Slave 1. Scimitar you need to farm. That should be another one of your reinforcements.
Reaper.
Yeah, Reaper you can bring in as off the bench.
And then he can bring in Silencer too.
Sure.
He can actually bring in a Sunfac off the bench for that stun.
He could, yeah.
So that's probably what I would run based on what he has. I think it would be a Biggs, TIE Advanced, and TIE Fighter for starting with Slave 1, Reaper, Silencer, and Sunfac as his reinforcement.
Yeah, I mean, the ships that you're missing, Scimitar, you gotta focus on farming him. In the arena store, every time he pops up, you need to be popping him. He's a great ship. It's a great reinforcement ship. I still use him. Some of these other ones, 5s, Clone Sergeants, things of that nature. Those are ships that you want for territory wars. I mean, these are ships for the long term that you want, because you want to have a wide range of roster for your ships. You know, I use the Republic fleet on defense. That thing is nasty, man, on defense. It can be beaten, but it takes a lot to beat it because there's so many ships coming in and doing protection. It's a pain in the ass. But for your arena, the ones that we just mentioned should be who you're running right now. And you've got some really good ships that you can. You should be fine. You know, I think it's make sure you got mods on all of them. It looks like you do. But if all those ships, make sure you have 5-dot mods so that you can take full advantage of what you have for your ships. And then, you know, it could be a gear check on some of the characters, but that's okay. You've got the ships that you need that are 7 stars to have a full roster that you're kicking ass with. The only one you're missing is Scimitar, and that's a priority farm. The other ones you can farm as they come, but I would focus everything on Scimitar, because that ship is really, really a pain in the ass in any battle. Anything else in ships anybody's noticing?
I mean, yeah. Just make sure that you're working on your Phantom and Ghost for your Chimera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just looking at that.
And Poe.
You gotta get. He's got Cassian's Ewing done. Yeah, he does. So
yeah.
One of the Ewings
but they changed that now too. So.
Well, I know. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah. So he only really needs like 3 ships, and he has big, so he has another Rebel ship, but he has Ghost and He needs to get Ghost and Phantom to 7 stars. So make sure you're working on that. Other ships that I like, Umbaran and Poe, if you can work on those ships as well, just to get them up. Poe especially, because that undodgeable special attack by Poe comes in really handy if you want to use him off reinforcement. So he's a good ship to have, and Umbaran is just really, really tanky. So just some other ships to work on.
What I'd put in for this one is you definitely want to get your Scimitar up. Like if you're running the TIE Advanced and TIE Fighter Pilot and Biggs, the second you bring in Scimitar, your TIE Advanced is gonna be one-shotting dudes like 70 and 80k on his basic. Because little nice thing about Scimitar is he will give your Sith ships, which since Vader is Sith, it'll give him plus 50% crit chance. So he will always crit. And that basic cannot be evaded, and you'll destroy stuff.
The other thing, and I see JLY in the chat, so there's something that's, I don't know, maybe slightly concerning to me. I'm looking at his Lando's Millennium Falcon, because I think that's going to end up being a ship with Phantom 1, especially when it becomes accessible. That's going to become a potential meta reinforcement ship. Nothing guaranteed yet, but it looks like it has the potential for that. But what I'm noticing is that his Lando's Falcon, his L2, and his Young Lando are all 2-star. So I'm wondering what happened if he has the shards in order to take him to 3 and he just hasn't.
His credits, man.
If that's the reason, that's fine. I just want to make sure that he's doing all of the event and getting the shards for the potential of a 3-star. Right? Because those are free shards you don't want to give up. So I want to make sure he's focusing on getting those whenever they're up. You don't have to level them. You don't have to actually boost them to 3-star if you don't want to. I'm just kind of wondering to make sure that they are, that you do have all the shards to take them potentially to 3-star. Yeah. So if you're in the chat, just let me know, because that's the only thing. Okay, he said he has the shards. Good. As long as you have the shards, because that worried me a little bit that maybe you weren't doing the last tier or something like that. So I just had to check. All right. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So if you have any other questions, then JOY, let us know.
All right.
You know where to find us.
Okay, before we get to questions, Vigilant Sentinel donated twice.
Yeah.
He donated $2 first, and he said, "What's up, RSG?"
What's up with you, Vigilant?
How about now?
How about now?
And Vigilant Sentinel also donated another $2. Send my thanks to KP67's breakdown on TB teams.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I saw that. So if you guys aren't, join the RSG Discord. We have a great community there. KP67s is another guy. He's always active on our Discord. when you put stuff in the question and answer, we'll try and answer your questions, but sometimes it takes us a little bit. But we have a great community of people, and KP67 is one of them that will be there to answer your question if he knows the answer and stuff. So there was a question about kind of ranking factions based on TB and territory wars, and he gave a really detailed answer, which I thought was awesome. So thank you, KP.
Mm-hmm. That's why our community kicks ass.
Paul Morgan, question: is the Scion ship's node worth a credit refresh and node refresh, or refresh daily energy at 100 crystals?
I'll let you answer that, Stunner Jedi. Is he still there?
Was he ever here?
I heard him talking.
I don't know what happened.
Well, he's at work and stuff. I mean,
yeah.
Ooh, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Jesus.
Sorry. It took me a minute to get off the mute button. What I like to do is I specifically use the energy itself just on the Scion node, and then I won't refresh the energy. I'll let it carry over into the next day and then use the energy throughout the day, only refreshing the node once in the ship's PV table. So that way you can take 100 crystals from your mod farming if you want to refresh both the ship's hard node and the regular hard node, and then you get 20 attempts. Now I'm already at 22 shards for Scion out of 100, so he's almost done. It's a good way, and it kind of sucks taking away from like your crystal management anywhere else in the game. Trying to finish Scion to set, totally worth it. Really recommend it.
There you go. That's science.
Thane Kyrell, question for Dana. Now that you've finished your pork feast, which of the RSG crew would you take to go Ewok hunting? You already went with Finn, so you can't take him. You can take more than one, and why?
Okay. Well, I guess I would take Grim. Because
where?
We're going Ewok hunting, but I would not hunt them. No, but we're not going to hunt them, and I think that I could take you, and you wouldn't hunt them either.
I feel like you're making a bad
possibly.
What if they try to eat you, Dana?
Give them a cookie. They'll be distracted.
I would go for like non-violent.
Ewoks are very easily distracted. Give them a cookie.
Yeah,
it worked for Leia.
And my life was in danger or something, then I would definitely defend myself.
Your life in danger with Ewoks? That's silly.
You never know if they all gang up on me.
Give them a cookie.
Like, what if I don't have enough cookies? And then they're angry.
Make sure you bring cookies. You should always bring cookies.
How many cookies do you think I need to go with me, though? Because, I mean, do I need to get
how long you're staying.
Like animal cracker barrel things, and then I could just, toss them out? And
yeah, I think that would be a safe amount.
Okay. All right. Well, then we would do that, and Grim would go with me, and I think I trust that he wouldn't. Neela says I picked Grim because I think I can outrun him. No, because I think he would not attack them if I asked him to.
That's science.
Nathaniel Miller, question: what are your thoughts on alliances versus standalone guilds?
Standalone.
Yeah, I think there are positives and negatives to both. I have been in a standalone guild, running one when guilds first started, and it was cool. It was like this little community, and we ended up using Line in the beginning, and it was awesome. We would share like family pictures, and we all got to know each other, and that was really, really neat. But I also am moved on, and I'm part of an alliance, which has 10 guilds now. But I ended up bringing that guild into the alliance, so they're also there, and it's it's kind of like family still, but it's bigger, so I don't know everyone, and there's things that go on that I'm not aware of sometimes, and I think it gets harder. We're there trying to take care of all these guilds, and that can be a challenge sometimes if they need people, if they need recruits, trying to make sure that you can help fill their needs, find people for them, and but they've both been, for me, it's been a positive experience in both of them, in both of the situations. We can help each other. People can move around. That's the other thing that I like. If someone needs to take a break, they need to be a little more relaxed. We have all different levels of, like activity. We have like a super hardcore flagship guild. And then the guild that I lead is the second one. So we're still hardcore, but not quite as hardcore as the flagship guild.
Yeah, which is why I'm there. Because I probably wouldn't last in the hardcore guild.
Yeah, yeah, they have definitely a lot more requirements, and we reached 140 million like 2 weeks ago, I think, or something. So right now I'm not as concerned with GPs, and we have Sith Raid on farm, so it's not a huge issue for us. But anyway, so like if we have people that are just a little overwhelmed, they can go down. There's another guild that we have that's like the same level as my guild, which is Empire Vanguard. But then after that, we have like guilds where 600 isn't required. It's encouraged, but they don't penalize for it. And then we have guilds where 600 isn't even like brought up. It's like if you can get 400, 500 energy, and all the way down to a guild where there's basically no requirements. Like we call it our club med. People go there if you just want to hang out. You don't really want to play. You want to raid occasionally, but you're not concerned about progressing at the moment, or you just can't do it. You don't have the time, the energy, or whatever. You can go there and just relax. And I actually spent like a month there myself a little while back, just because it was a lot of stuff going on. We were moving, and it was crazy. But yeah, for me, both of the things have been positive. The only thing that I would say is negative about alliances is that like I'm an admiral in the alliance, so I think we have like 8 or 9 altogether, and that can be difficult sometimes because of the different opinions and the way that people want to run things. So it's not just one guild where you're in charge of and you can run it the way that you want to. You've got all these other people with different opinions, and I feel like most of the time I am like the odd person out. My views and the way that I would run things are like a little different, so it can be frustrating for me and for my husband, because I complain to him. He doesn't go on Discord because he said he doesn't need to, because he hears everything from me, so he doesn't bother. So I would say like that for me, it's like one thing that I don't really like about that is like at times it can be stressful and annoying when there's people outvoting you on things that you feel like. For me, I feel like this makes sense, this is the right way to do things, and I get outvoted. So anyway, thanks for letting me ramble on about that.
This has been Rambling On with Dana here on NPR. All right, we just got $5 from, well, first of all, we got $4.99 from JLY9. Thank you.
Thank you, JLY.
And then Paul Morgan donated $5. His question for Ranger: what is the best way to recover from a ruck march with full gear over the weekend? I brought some amino acid drink mix. Will it help? Well, the thing that I used to do, and a lot of NFL football players and athletes do this, is when you do a very grueling exercise, right, the first thing to do is, well, 2 things, right? This is specific to ruck marches, but first thing is take a cold shower for about 5-10 minutes. If you can, if you want to be really crazy, do a bathtub full of ice and water, sitting in it. If not, then just take a really cold shower. What that does is it gets rid of a lot of the inflammation across your body, and will soothe some of the pains you have. Then afterwards, you take a nice hot bath or a hot shower for about 10-20 minutes, right? Again, relax the muscles after you got rid of the inflammation. Then stay hydrated. But also, do not wear any shoes. Let your feet air out. Your feet are going to be destroyed, so you want to elevate your legs. Get the blood flow out of your feet. Keep socks off of them. Put some powder on them, but just let them dry out. That's the fastest way for your feet to recover. And then if you have any aches and pains, specific areas like an elbow or knee, back, just use ice and heat on it specifically in that area. But that's the best way to recover, and just stay hydrated.
Ice for the first 24 hours, and then after that, heat.
Yeah, and always remember the Super Trooper rule too, is to cup the balls.
You know, I was doing a beautiful thing there, Grammy, and you just went ahead and shit all over it.
Yeah.
Awful.
Wow.
Well, when all else fails, cup the balls.
All right, we're moving on from mentally damaged people.
Relax the throat and cup the balls.
No!
Are you sure you want to take him on the Ewok right now, Dana?
Oh my gosh. He doesn't act like this in the guild, so that's you know.
Christ. All right, next.
Sorry, Super Troopers is on TV right now, so.
All right, next.
Eric Estrella. Question, who to Zeta for the Sith raid for best result? R2 combat analysis or JTR's insight? I already have Zeta number crunch and JTR's leadership.
I'd say insight if you're going to if those are my two options.
Agreed.
Get that foresight going, man. They can't hit you, they can't do damage, and they can't do anything else.
Mr. Pennypinch, question, got Grandmaster Yoda to Gear 12. Which to Zeta first, lead or special?
Special. That's a no-brainer. I have Hermit Yoda to Gear 12. Where's that little ring frog? There he is. And his first one I did was, of course, his unique, special, what is it? It flows from the Force. So, yeah. He doesn't have a leader. But I think it's strength flows from the Force.
That's Hermit Yoda.
As you said, Grandmaster Yoda? Never mind, I'm retarded.
I agree with your answer, but yeah, he's talking...
Grandmaster Yoda.
Okay, yeah, he said Grandmaster retarded. Sorry, Grandmaster Yoda.
Do his non-lead first, but...
Oh, Christ. Someone else answer because my brain's
It's a special, right? It's a leader and special, I think.
Yeah, because you're still going to run a Qui-Gon lead or somebody like that.
For the most part, yeah. You can run a Yoda lead, but probably not.
So it's always just unique.
Yep. So don't do his leader first. Do the other one. But that's if you really want to Zeta Yoda. He's still unproven for anyone that's using Zeta on him. So make sure that you don't have anything else worthwhile.
Sumit Singh, question, I have 24 speed potency cross with health primary. Who should I give it to? I run Emperor Palpatine and Darth Nihilus, Scion, and Vader and Thrawn in a
Well, it's not Thrawn.
What was the mod again?
24 speed potency cross with health primary.
That's either going to go on Nihilus, Palpatine.
Whoever needs to be your fastest.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
if Thrawn needs to be your fastest, I would put it on Thrawn in a heartbeat. The other abilities don't matter as much, right? You need to make sure that your characters are fast
not
in the correct order.
We've had that discussion too,
but it needs to be in a correct order, right? So it depends on your shard whether or not you need the speed. More likely than not, you're trying to get your Thrawn fast. You can go with a build that needs your Nihilus fast or your Scion fast. So there are other potential options, but whatever it is, you want to make sure that you know what speed you need. I mean, so my first inclination would be whichever character you want to make fastest, which is usually either Scion or Thrawn.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm going for potency, it's one of those other characters. I mean, Thrawn's potency is not really a thing that you want on him, but I would go with one of the other four. Kind of a big deal.
Yeah, I would say Vader because, I mean, the potency, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it makes the sense, and then you need the speed on Vader. And, you know, it's not like today's meta you need Vader to be the fastest, but it makes it a plus for your arena team. And, you know, you can stick those debuffs right away and, you know, possibly get some more speed down than you're hoping for or what you're getting now.
Thunder Jedi has spoken. So let it be written. So let it be done. I'm not reading that out loud, Paul Morgan. Thank you for the $2.
Kill anyone I know for it.
Paul Morgan, $2. Grim, what balls?
I said don't read it.
You said you were
Dem balls.
He plays for Belgium, doesn't he?
But remember, you got to relax.
Next question, please.
It's pretty
Grim
funny.
is on a timeout. I don't know why he's talking.
It's pretty funny. The donation came in. It's blue too.
Oh, for God's sakes.
Okay, Nathaniel Morgan. Question: Bounty hunters or first order? Both sitting at gear 8.
First order.
First order.
Hands down.
Unless for some reason you have a 7-star Bosk or something that you invested in.
Oh, but I doubt it, and I'd say still first order.
Well, the only reason I'm asking is because if you invested in a 7-star Bosk, then go ahead and do your first order. You already invested in that character, but otherwise, yeah. First order.
They are amazing.
Thane Kyrell. Question for Finn. How do you have a higher GP than me when you have almost half the amount of gear 11 plus tunes?
I know why.
Because I took a bunch of characters to gear 10 a while ago. Well, I mean, I've never built.
That's not why, Dr. Finn.
It's not?
I can't say why.
Is it something that will
I have no idea what you're...
be revealed in the future?
No.
Isn't that the same question he asked me on Jedi Academy Saturday?
Well, I think I know what you're referring to, but that really wasn't it.
I think it is.
No, because it's been like this for a while. No, it's been like this for a while. So essentially, I've never built my arena or my... So Territory Wars is new, right? So my strategy for building characters is to always try and take them to gear 9 or 10. And previously, it was in order to get ready for any kind of meta shift prior to... for arena in particular. So I would take all my characters to gear 9 and 10 and leave them there so that if they became an arena meta team, I was able to switch. And when it was just arena, no territory wars, it was a great strategy because I was able to transition with a lot of the whales and stuff on my arena shard very quickly. But now you come territory wars, and now it's not as beneficial, right? It actually ends up being that empty GP that we were talking about. So I haven't really done much with a lot of characters. I've maybe taken them to gear 6 just to use the overabundance of some of the mats that I have. And that's pretty much it. I wouldn't put like the holo projectors or stuff like that on them. But primarily it was because of that. Is that for before Territory Wars, I had built my roster around trying to get a bunch of gear 9 and 10 characters to transition them to 11 for arena in the case that it was needed. So that's pretty much why. So if you look at mine, it's a lot of I'll have a lot of gear 8 plus for the most part, and I'm now not really adding to it. I'm just increasing my gear 11 and 12 numbers.
Finn, let's just go get something to eat. They're just talking about balls everywhere. I don't know what we're bothering.
Oh yeah, and balls. There we go.
No, let's just... What do you want to go get? Where should we go eat, Finn? You want to get like a Mexican, Chinese? What do you feel like? I mean, because...
What about falafel?
No, you guys are having your own conversation. You go live in your world.
The best place... There is a... So, it's all over, but it goes under different names. So, there is a place that in the south, it's called Zaxby's. I should say in the southeast, it's called Zaxby's. And then if you go a little bit to the mid-east, it's called, or even to the south, it's Ragin' Cajun. Or Raising Cane's. Sorry, Raising Cane's. It's like the chicken with like the special sauce and everything. That's like, it's like the greatest fried chicken ever. I love their chicken strip meals and stuff. So that's where I would go. I think I'm gonna get Zaxby's tomorrow now. Now I've talked myself into this. I think I'm gonna get Zaxby's. I think it's gonna be Zaxby's and Borderlands 2 for lunch tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, if you're ever in St. Pete, Finn, on 4th Street, you gotta try Better Bird. So good.
I'll have to try. I hate the east to west travel in Florida is horrendous.
Yeah, it is.
Because there's no highway. It's like all state road crap everywhere.
Yeah, US 19 down here.
So it's like not that far, but you have to travel like twice the time that it would take me to get to like Orlando because there's like no highway. It's all state roads, and you have to go like 30 miles an hour in some of that spot. Stupid.
Finn, maybe we can come visit you. And we're going to be leaving next week and down there for a month.
Where are you?
We're going to in between Naples and Marco Island.
Oh, yeah, so you're in that west, like, so you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Awesome.
Hi.
Hiya. Sorry.
Nathaniel Morgan, he wants to know what's the best fried chicken. I don't eat meat. I don't eat animals.
I do, and I love it.
Yeah, I wasn't always a vegan, obviously. You know,
that's
most
why
of my life
cold,
I ate.
Danny, you're not getting enough iron.
No.
That's science right there. You cannot argue with me. You're not getting enough iron. That's why you're always cold.
When I was in my 20s, I was a vegetarian. And it was so difficult to be a vegetarian back then because there weren't all these wonderful options that they have nowadays.
You mean like
so
food?
I was like all these faux meats that are amazing. I mean, some of them are so good that I mean, obviously nothing ever compares to actual meat. You can never get like a perfect replica of it, but there are some things that come really, really darn close.
Nope.
And I was a vegetarian for a while. Then I was back to eating, like, I didn't eat red meat, but I ate, like chicken and turkey for the longest time. And then I kind of fell off that. But then, like a year and 3/4 ago, I guess it was, my husband decided he was going to be a vegan. And I'm like, well, how's that going to work? I don't want to do this. I don't want to give up dairy and meat and all this other stuff. And he didn't. He just yelled. He didn't force me. Obviously, he doesn't force me to do anything. But he was just like, this is what I want to do for myself. You can do whatever you want. And I was like, well, it's not really going to work if I'm eating meat and you're not. So I was like, I guess I'll try it. But I was not happy. But then I found out that there's like all this awesome stuff out now. And so I don't really. The only thing, and I say this to Graham all the time, the only thing I miss is sushi. I miss sushi.
Oh, yes, sushi.
Forget that. I'm not giving up that ever.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to give up sushi.
Rib. God, that's like my little treat every month. It's like,
yeah,
thing is, give me a piece of that prime rib right there.
Sashimi is my thing, man. Yeah, there's an Asian market right next to where I work, and they sell sushi grade fish there. And sometimes I go over there because they have a kitchen in the back, and I can go up front, grab a slice of the whatever fish they have, bring it back to the kitchen. They'll slice it up right there and then for me for lunch. I mean, so good. I mean, take all my money, please.
All my money.
Oh, man.
So Biffy is writing in the chat, and she also messaged me on Discord. So that was why I was laughing, kind of. Yeah. She's telling me I still get plenty of protein and winking at me.
Oh, for God's sake.
Oh, Jesus. Well, see, that's what happens when you relax the throat and cup the balls.
Oh, my God.
Right,
anyways.
This
is the worst lunch dream ever.
Yeah, good job, guys.
Hey, but there's thumbs down.
Oh, my goodness.
So it couldn't be that bad.
Yeah, somebody that hates cupping the balls. Somebody vehemently opposes cupping the balls, and because of that, we got a thumbs down. Thank you very much, Grim.
There is a thumbs down? Mine didn't show
I'm not
up
seeing
yet.
a thumbs down.
Oh, good. Well, if you oppose cupping the balls, give a thumbs down.
Yeah.
We're already down this path. I may as well continue. Oh.
I'm done. I'm not even closing out the stream. Y'all figured it out. I'm done. I'm doing missions.
Each had a question. Did we answer that? Did you guys? What was it going on while we were talking about other things? Yeah, speed arrow or offense arrow on Han. Raid, not that important. Mostly use him with Titans to climb over Treya in Arena. Did we get that one?
No. If you're using him to run over Treya, then you need offense. You don't need speed on Han, so just go with offense. You want to increase his damage.
Oh, my sides.
All right. Let's go ahead and end the stream. All right. So, thank you very much, guys, for watching this nonsense. We hope you guys were entertained during your lunch hour. I will be catching up on the podcast here later today and the rest of this week, as after the charity stream from a week ago, it's been like I've been half asleep for most of the week between work and trying to catch up on stuff. So we will be catching up on the podcast.
I hope you didn't
so stay tuned for that.
If
you guys want to play any of the different games with us, let us know. So there's Battlefront 2 that Ranger plays with V on the Xbox. Now that a lot of my work stuff has cleared up, I've been able to play a little bit more. So I'm playing Borderlands and Diablo 3 and PixARK and trying to just have fun, so you guys can join whenever we play those games. So join us on our Discord. There's a link in the description of the video below. And our regular streams are Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That is our Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes stream, where we go through the news and notes and give you our opinions on stuff going on in the game, so you guys can stay up to date on those. On Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern, we do a question and answer session, Jedi Academy, where we have some of the big YouTubers around, such as Warrior, Ramona Zab, and of course Miss T Money, who joins us and answers questions. And I can't forget Mr. Mike Hunt, who is with us here. So join us for Jedi Academy to get your questions answered. It's a pure question and answer stream, so if we missed your question today, apologies. We only have so much time for that. And then every weekday where there is a work day, so on Wednesday there will not be, just so you guys know, but every weekday when there is work, we do our lunch stream, which is at noon Eastern Time, where we just kind of spend about an hour, have some fun with you guys, entertain you during your lunch hour. And yeah, those are our main streams. Be on the lookout for some new stuff coming up. So make sure that you subscribe and you hit the little bell so you can get the notification. And with that, Ranger, I think we can close out the stream.
All right. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe, guys. Remember, there will be no lunch stream on Wednesday. Just letting you know that. It's 4th of July. So everybody have a great rest of the day, and we will holler at you later.